Hi everyone, let's do LeetCode 20 valid parentheses today. So we're given a string S that contains just these characters, round brackets, curly brackets, and square brackets. We want to determine if the input string is valid. An input string is valid if an open bracket is closed by the same type of bracket, they are closed in the correct order, and every closing bracket has a corresponding opening bracket. Let's look at some examples. Example 1, we have an opening round bracket and a closing bracket, so we can see that this opening bracket has a closing one and this closing bracket has an opening bracket, so we can return true. Example 2, we can see we have an opening bracket followed by a closing one, another opening followed by a closing, another opening bracket followed by a closing one. So this input is valid as well, so we're going to return true. Example 3, instead we have a opening round bracket followed by a closing square bracket. So this is not valid because, as we can see, this round bracket should be closed by a round bracket, but we have a square bracket instead, so this is not valid. So we're going to return false. Let's look at another example as well. So let's say we had opening round bracket, opening square bracket, closed round bracket. So as you can see, this is not valid. Now let's add another square bracket. So as you can see, this is not valid because this square bracket should have a closing bracket here in order for the string to be valid, but it's actually followed by a closing round bracket. So and same for these two on the outside, so this string is not valid and we're going to return false. Let's see how we could come up with an algorithm to solve this problem. So let's have an extra data structure called stack. A stack in Python is just a list where you keep adding elements, and when you pop, you are going to get back the most recent item that you inserted. Let's have it here on the side. Let's go character by character over this input string. So we have an opening curly bracket. So far this string is valid, and let's add it to our stack. We have another opening square bracket, so string is still valid. Let's add it on top of our stack. We have an opening round bracket, still valid. We have another round bracket. The string is still valid. Let's add to our stack. Now we have the first closing round bracket. In order for this string to be still valid, we want this closing round bracket to come after an opening one. In order to do that, we need to find what was the element that just arrived before this closing round bracket. And in order to do that, we can simply pop from the top of the stack. In this case is an opening round bracket. Now we want to check, does this closing round bracket match with this one that we just popped from the top of the stack? In order to do that, we can have a hash map that looks like this. We can have a hash map where each closing parenthesis is mapped to the corresponding opening parenthesis. So we have popped at the top of our stack, which is an opening round parenthesis. The current character we are evaluating is a closing round parenthesis. So we want to pop from the hash map the corresponding opening one and then actually compare these two. Are these the same? So in this case, yes, they are. We can actually eliminate these two parentheses. Now we want to pop the next one. Again, we're in the same situation. It's a closing round parenthesis, so we want to check whether the character that came just before is a opening round bracket. So we're going to pop from the top of the stack. This is an opening round parenthesis. We're gonna take our character, the one that we're still just evaluating. Is the top of the stack the corresponding opening parenthesis? Yes, it is. We can cancel these two out. Next one is a closing square parenthesis. Again, let's pop the top of the stack. Let's take our character. What's the corresponding opening bracket? It's a square one. So these two match. We can remove this from here. Last character is a closing curly bracket. Let's pop the top of the stack. Let's find the corresponding opening bracket we need, which is the same as the one we just popped. In this case, we have gone through the whole string. Our stack is now empty and we can return true. Each opening parenthesis had its own closing parenthesis. Time complexity for this solution is big O of n, and memory complexity is big O of n as well, because we're using a stack. Let's try some code now. So the first thing we need is a stack. In Python is just a list. Now we need the hash map with map from close to open parentheses. So I'm going to use a dictionary. So now that we have our hash map, we want to go through each character of our input string. So let's check if it is a closing parenthesis. So if it is a closing parenthesis, it's going to be one of the keys of the hash map. So this simple if solution is going to work. We need to check if the stack is not empty and the top of the stack is the matching opening parentheses. So we can use another if. So check if stack is not empty and the top of the stack is actually the matching opening parentheses. We want to simply pop from the stack. Else we are going to return false. So we want to return false because if the top of the stack is not the matching opening parentheses, it means that the string is not valid. Otherwise, it means that the character is an opening bracket, so we are just having open brackets, so we're just going to append them to our stack. At the end, if the stack is empty, it means that the string was valid, and you can simply use this. Let's check if this works. As you can see, it does work. Please like and subscribe if you found this video useful. Thank you.